Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports with Monga. What a what a match, actually, right? Manchester United lose to Aston Villa in the Premier League last week, 3-1. I think that was the score. And they had a repeat of the match in the Carabao Cup today, a couple of hours ago, and it was a match of two halves completely. The match ended with Manchester United scoring 4 and Aston Villa scoring 2, a 0-0 in the first half. But then everything kind of flipped itself, literally flipped in the starting minute itself. Like from the get-go, it's like it just changed. The whole match changed. Yeah, it was so much was happening in that game, right? Watkins starts scoring with the first goal of the match, 48 minutes. Then 20 seconds later, Martial scores. What is happening? Dalot is caught, like he's caught by Leon Bailey because he does a beautiful cross, like the header, and Dalot gets caught. He can't remove his feet, and it's a goal. Rashford scores at 67th minute. Bruno Fernandes scores 78th, and a beautiful goal. That goal was almost, it reminded me of the Sergio Roberto goal for Barcelona against PSG, like diving and just kind of touching the ball in and just kind of caressing it from the goalkeeper. But I think this game kind of tells us that anything can happen. Manchester United kind of went with Dubravka in the goal. De Gea did not start. Dalot, Maguire, Lindelof, Malacia in the back. McTominay and Fred were ready to play. Bruno Fernandes, Van de Beek, and Rashford in the front, with supporting Martial in the front. So a 1-3-2-4 formation. Maguire was back. I felt like he was a little lackluster throughout the game. There were some loose passes from both sides. Something that Aston Villa should have or Unai Emery will have to definitely look into, like, why were they playing so risky at the back with the short passes, with the press that Manchester United had. The main, I think the main game the game was kind of changed after, like, they could see that United got a lot of momentum after Garnacho was on the field. Like, he was all over on the left flank after being subbed, after Martial being subbed. Rashford, of course, coming out for Casemiro, and Elanga coming in for Van de Beek, with Fred leaving in the 62nd minute. Also, Eriksen's change kind of getting him. You could see the difference in the game as well. Manchester United could grow bigger and better in the whole situation. Yeah, that was fun to see. But then, of course, for Aston Villa, the side was pretty strong, I would say. Ings, Watkins in the front, Jacob Ramsey, Douglas Luiz, Kamara, and McGinn in the mid. Young, Konsa, Chambers, and Augustinsson, and Olsen in goal. Yeah, there were some nervy moments, I would say, in the second half, where they kind of were their own worst enemy in that sense. But yeah, I think Garnacho was like, he basically was a turning point for Manchester United in the second half, with his pace on the left and kind of causing problems. Of course, Rashford grew stronger with the whole game in a way. Bruno Fernandes was like, he could have squared the ball a couple of times for players in the second half to kind of score, but then he was lucky to get a goal with kind of the deflection that Mings, with his diving effort, actually got to. But Manchester United gets Villa. Like, they actually they get the revenge from them. They actually do win in this for the Carabao Cup, and then they proceed forward. They go forward to see where and we'll, yeah, and to see who will they play next, because the draws will be coming very soon. What was pretty interesting, like, there have been some notable performances and upsets. Arsenal lost to Brighton. Newcastle won on penalties against Crystal Palace. Nottingham Forest won against Tottenham Hotspurs. Southampton won on penalties 6-5. West Ham won on penalty. Blackburn Rovers won on penalties 10-9. Wolves won against Leeds. Liverpool go through against Derby on penalties. Manchester City won against Chelsea. Bournemouth won against Everton. Lincoln City won against Bristol. Burnley won. Leicester won. Milton Keynes Dons won. Charlton Athletic won, and Brentford or Gillingham won. Actually, there have been a couple of upsets here. I didn't follow this. I didn't follow this yesterday. But then, interesting. I'm looking forward to the draws now. It's pretty big, but then Spurs out, Arsenal is out, Chelsea is out, and Manchester United is in. Manchester City is there. Liverpool is still there. Newcastle is there. So West Ham is still there. Wolves is there. Bournemouth is there. This is pretty interesting, and Leicester is still there. So wow, Carabao Cup still kind of is exciting and kind of entertaining to see. Of course, a lot of chances for the young players to come again in the sides from these games, but will be interesting to see how this progresses. But Manchester United should be happy. Erik ten Hag should be happy seeing the performance from Manchester United after losing to Aston Villa on the weekend, the previous weekend, in the Premier League, but then coming back and actually making an impact. Let me know your thoughts. Garnacho is something who's kind of getting more confident day by day. I almost feel like he's getting a very more regular start, so he might feel United now are getting in a rhythm of how they want to play the Erik ten Hag system in a way. The first goal was something like that, where when Bruno Fernandes ran right, like he held his line, the ball came over, he ran in the middle between the two right and the center defender, and goes through, puts up a beautiful pass on the plate for Martial to score. Like that's Erik ten Hag. Like that's Erik ten Hag written all over its play. So it was good to see how Erik ten Hag is kind of getting into the game, and his system is getting into the game, and everybody's kind of falling into a rhythm with that one. That's pretty interesting for me to watch and see and how this progresses. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think about Carabao Cup? Do you feel that this is something that Manchester United can actually win, or do you I feel Manchester City, to the point that Manchester City and Liverpool are there, that anything can happen. But it's very interesting to see who draws who now. Let me know your thoughts, and do like us, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.